Businesses select specific localities for investment, and the investment climate in specific localities drives the investment location decisions. In BIH, subnational level governments have strong legislative powers that regulate all aspects of business life cycle. The four-level government structure of the country added complexity, as one of the cross-cutting tasks was to link the reforms at various levels of governments, ensure they did not contradict each another, and were consistently applied at all levels. Therefore, it was crucial to tackle the four overarching issues hindering business development and investment attractiveness of BIH. Business regulatory burden through maze of licenses, permits, approvals, emerging regulatory implementation gaps at subnational level, lack of transparency of regulations, and lack of harmonization and synergy between regulations of different government levels in BIH. The International Finance Corporation, member of the World Bank Group, initiated the regulatory reform on subnational level back in late 2007 in cooperation with the partners in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The objective was to address issues hindering improved investment climate and reduce regulatory implementation gap. Since late 2007, the regulatory reform has been implemented in 4 cantons and 23 municipalities across BIH with great success. Tešanj is one of the municipalities where the reform was completed by late 2010. To this day, it is one of the few municipalities that can boast of an uninterrupted economic growth. Over the past 4 years, the exports in municipality quadrupled to reach 350 million km, while the fact that the number of jobs increased by 3,500 relative to 1991 seems almost unreal. Majid Banjic is a prominent Tešanj businessman. Together with his father and brother, he runs the Madi Co. Just a few years ago, one sole building stood on this site, and today it houses the company's management and administration offices. In the last 2 years, new facilities were built and the most modern meat production and processing equipment is being installed as we speak. The investment, totaling more than 10 million euros, also looks likely to generate new jobs. At present, the Madi Co. employs 333, with the number of employees and subcontractors rising constantly.
Da pričamo o lokalnoj zajednici, ja uvijek na neki način podcrtavam da mi zaista imamo tu jednu veliku podršku, ne samo mi, nadam se i sve ostale firme, ovo što vidim, jer mogu reći da su nam pri ruci i da na neki način suportiraju privredne subjekte na Tešanjskoj opštini.
Projekat koji smo radili sa AFC-om je integriran u sistem upravljanja kvalitetom. On je u stvari doprinio efikasnosti rada administracije, njenoj transparentnosti i generalno smanjenju direktnih i indirektnih troškova koje imaju investitori i koje ima naravno općinska administracija. Mi smo u prošloj godini imali primjere da smo u roku od 2 dana izdavali urbanističku i u roku od 2 dana izdavali građevinsku za otvaranje novih 50 radnih mjesta i taj poslovni subjekt posluje vrlo uspješno, dakle maksimalno smo skratili rokove. Naša satisfakcija je u stvari u tome da radnici što prije dobiju svoj posao.
In the northeastern BIH, the city of Bijeljina is one of 3 most investment-friendly locations in Republika Srpska. The regulatory reform was implemented at the same time as in Tešanj, and the city has since recorded ever stronger economic growth. The city administration has been doing everything in their power to reduce the regulatory implementation gap and cut costs to facilitate investment.
Zahvaljujući projektu Giljotina propisa gdje smo pokušali da ubrzamo određene procedure, mislim da smo u tome podobro uspjeli i da je dalo određene efekte. Mi smo išli korak dalje i napravili smo takozvane industrijske zone koje imamo. U tim industrijskim zonama ne samo da smo ubrzali izdavanje građevinskih dozvola, nego smo za određene djelatnosti dali i povoljne i zemljište na 60 jednakih mjesečnih rata beskamatno, a naravno što se tiče građevinskih dozvola i ostalih dozvola, neke smo smanjili i do 80%, a zahvaljujući giljotini propisa i svim tim drugačijim stepenicama došli smo u situaciju da to ide veoma brže i brzo.
Mr. Đorđe Sladinjak started his company Spektar Drink in Bijeljina back in 1991. The global economic crisis affected his business as well, but in the last 2 to 3 years, there have been signs of recovery, which led to construction of new plants and creation of new jobs. The factory, which processes fruit and vegetables and produces juices and jams, currently employs 90. The Spectre drink has managed to obtain all required building and operating permits much more swiftly than before, which was a result of the regulatory reform and procedural simplification activities.
Veoma često i veoma se brzo reaguje na zahtjeve kolega iz privrede koji imaju često opravdane zahtjeve. Znači, brže se sređuju građevinske dozvole, brže se izlazi u susret po pitanju nekih problema vezano za komunalne takse i ostalo, tako da mislimo da je to značajan korak i da Bijeljina ima značajan iskorak u odnosu na okruženje. Lokalna vlast, mogu da kažem da je dala veoma brzo i ekspeditivno građevinske dozvole. One se čekaju mjesec i po dana, znači što je vrlo brzo, bez ikakvih problema smo rješavali. I evo, mi radimo sad 2 magacinska prostora, posle toga će doći na red hladnjača i tako dalje.
The independent impact assessment conducted in early 2015 covered both the municipalities and cantons where the regulatory reform was implemented and those where there were no reforms. On the basis of a sample of 320 companies from both the municipalities and cantons where the regulatory reform was implemented and those where it was not, it was confirmed that the regulation implementation gap in the localities where regulatory simplification was implemented has been reduced. The simplification of business processes and reduction of costs and waiting times for obtaining business licenses is evident from the accompanying tables, where before and after the reform situation is presented. This shows that the regulatory reform work succeeded in reducing the regulatory implementation gap which had existed in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the municipalities and cantons where the regulatory reform was done, employment rose by 6.41%. Waiting time for licenses and permits was reduced by 26%. Private sector generated higher savings, while electronic registers increased the transparency of administrative work.
So when we started the project, we knew very well about the considerable challenges facing the economy of Bosnia and Herzegovina. In a country with such considerable complications, it's very important to break down the issues into very small and concrete pieces that one can address with clearly defined goals. So although we're far away from declaring victory in this country, I think through this project we have made progress in the investment climate and improving the business environment as well.